Kanon thought that this was the sort of time he should stay by Jessica's side. But that looked like it would be hard to do in front of Rudo's intimidating glare. And in front of Kraus, I mean, I'd like to think that Kraus is somewhat of a more understanding person than Nazi when it comes to choosing a partner for Jessica. Because Nazi is in a similar boat to Eva in the sense that they don't want their daughters and sons to marry, be in a relationship with a servant and such. Kraus, I think there he will be an understanding person. And same goes for Hideyoshi. Rudolph stayed completely silent, but his inner emotions showed clearly in his eyes. Now when I look at Rudolph, yeah, he has done some shitty stuff in the past when it comes to his love for Kirie and Asumo, and possibly Natsuhi if we're thinking of cheating and such. Like, even if right now maybe that love for Kirie is also questioned, but I do want to believe that Rudolph truly loves Bella. Like, if we were to think of some genuine love that Rudolph would have, he would definitely have for Bella. And I know that I talked about this possibility in the past. Like, you remember in Game 4 when Bella confessed about how he came back to the family because Rudolph begged him to come back to the family. Like, I was also thinking of the possibility that maybe Rudolph was forced by somebody to have Bella come back. But, well, there's clearly no evidence for that. I mean, yeah, maybe we can think of Shannon and Kanon as those responsible for manipulating people as they see fit in these games, like during the family conference. But before that, though, I can only see Rudolph as wanting Bella to come back to the family because he loves his son and such. So there's that. So, without even asking, Genji, Kanon, and Gora all understood that they were under suspicion. Sometimes, Gora would ask if he could help in an attempt to correct this misunderstanding. But that seemed to have the opposite effect. The only good option available to him was to stay quiet so that he didn't aggravate Rudolph, and sit still at the end of the sofa. In the next room over, there were also 6 people. Erika, Hideyoshi, George, Shannon, Nanjo, and Kumasawa. The format of the room and the suffocating atmosphere were the same as the cousin's room. But even so, it was relatively calm there. George sat holding Shannon, who was hanging her head despondently the whole time. Kumasawa and Nanjo sat nervously as they listened to Hideyoshi explain the situation.
敵が何人いるかもわからんのや。しかし、わしらにはこうして銃がある。もちろん撃ったこともあるで。ハワイ射撃センターとちゃうで。
Hawaii Shooting Center?
わしな、もう時効だから白状するが、進駐軍のピストルをぶっ放して単価を切ったこともあるんやで。
Ooh. Okay, I'm curious about this one.
当時の闇市は外国人ヤクザが牛耳っとってな。
He probably wanted to make everyone feel secure by convincing them that he could be relied upon. Hideyoshi went into one of his old stories that everyone had heard many times, and it had gotten more extravagant each time they heard it. It didn't make them any more confident in Hideyoshi's abilities, but it did seem to calm things down a little by bringing a sense of normality.
どうしてこんな事件が。明日 船が来られればいいのですが。
明日は難しいでしょうな。二晩の長丁場になりそうだ。とにかくこういう時はしっかり睡眠をとりましょう。
この状況ですやすや眠れるほど僕の
ジョージ様。
The pain and anger of losing his mother quietly tormented George. Sleepiness probably won't be coming to him for a while. Erika suddenly clapped her hands as though she had just remembered something. Then whispered in Hideyoshi's ear, interrupting the old story, which he had grown very engrossed with.
すみません。ちょっといとこ部屋へ行ってきます。ちょっとどうしても向こうの使用人の方たちに確認したいことがありまして。
なんや、電話ではあかんのか。部屋番号をダイヤルするだけやで。
ほら、お忘れですか？電話、どうも犯人に壊されてるみたいですし。
なんや、ひょっとして彼らの証言に何か矛盾でも気づいたっちゅうんか。
Erika had created a strong impression with her detective-like behavior up to this point. So Hideyoshi immediately assumed that this was something vital to do with the crime.
簡単な確認ですが、ひょっとすると大きなほころびを出すかもしれません。ちょっと行ってきます。誰も部屋から出さないでください。
隣の部屋とはいえ一人は不用心やで。誰か男を連れてった方がええんとちゃうか。
使用人たちも南條さんも完全には信用できません。秀吉さんはこの部屋の責任者。ジョージさんも秀吉さんをサポートできる優秀な男手です。誰も避けません。大丈夫です。探偵は襲われないって決まってますから。
Erika had already worked hard to look like a sharp, clear-headed person. Hideyoshi relaxed and agreed, thinking that it was just the next door and wouldn't be a problem. Man, good thing that the chopstick excitement that you had back at the dinner, it didn't ruin your street cred and being able to be taken seriously. Otherwise, they would think of you as a buffoon. Similar to how you're seen as usual?
小1時間ほどで。いや、あまりうろちょろするのも不用心ですね。朝まで隣にいます。明るくなってから戻ってくる方がいいですよね。
その通りや。気をつけてな。
お隣の部屋に行くだけなのに。この部屋よろしくお願いします。誰も外へ出さないでください。この部屋を出るあらゆる理由がないよう、あらゆるものを運び込んだのですから。
Food, drinks, blankets, medicine, towels, tissue paper, everything. The women also had their cosmetic pouches. They could spend 48 hours without being short of any physical goods.
わかっとる。この部屋におるんは身を守るためだけやない。ひょっとしたらおるかもしれない犯人を見張る意味もあるのを。
Don't say it, don't think of it, ignore it. Don't say it, don't think of it, ignore it.
よくわかっとる。
グッドです。ではどうかよろしくお願いします。
エリカちゃん、どこへ？表には誰も出ない約束だよ。
ああ、エリカちゃんはちょいと特別な用事を思い出してな。隣へ行く。大丈夫、平気や。
Hideyoshi suspected that Shana might be one of the culprits. since he also knew that Shannon and George had a special relationship, he apparently thought it would be prudent to mislead George about Erika's actions and motives. Hideyoshi slowly opened the door and checked both ways down the corridor, his gun raised.
大丈夫。誰もおらんで。
ここまでで結構です。あなたが部屋を出ると同時にシャノンさんが豹変してジョージさんを人質に取らないとも限りませんよ。今こうして彼らに背中を向けているのさえ少々不用心です。
そやな。じゃあ用心するんやで。後でわしにも話を聞かせてや。
はい、それでは。
Pushing Hideyoshi back inside, Erika closed the door. She then waited for the sound of the lock on the inside, and her smiling eyes slowly opened wide. Erika Furudo, the sly little fox, that is doing a 3 AM prank video for YouTube. Her expression had become ruthless and intelligent. With this, Erika had managed to obtain a period of several hours, during which all the suspects were sealed up and she alone was free.
ようやく自由捜査権を得ました。その前に後宮バトラ。
フルネームで呼ぶな。
ここで登場人物全員の所在確認をさせてください。復唱要求です。
無論これにも答える義務はねえぜ。
その場合は私が見てない間に部屋を抜け出し、その人物が今後起こるだろう不思議な事件の実行者だと主張しきるだけです。不可能犯罪を見せたいならまずは所在確認に応じるべきです。
いいだろう。一応は聞いてやるぜ。言ってみろ。
いとこ部屋に対し隣の籠城部屋をこれより隣部屋と呼称します。よろしいですね。
わかりやすい。了解した。それで
今からする所在確認は生死を問いません。体の所在と考えてください。そしてもちろん現時点でのことです。
If a red truth is being told right now, then yeah.
では参ります。第1の番の犠牲者6人の所在は発見場所の通りである。夏日は自室、エヴァは貴賓室、キリエはクラウスの書斎、ローザとマリアは客間で、あんたは客室。
Oh?
まさかこの時点でもうこの程度のことも復唱拒否ですか？
いいぜ。それを認める。
First off, it was acknowledged that the victims' locations were the same as the rooms that had been shown by the witch side illusion.
ぐっと続けます。隣部屋に所在するのは秀吉、ジョージ、シャノン、熊沢、南條である。
認める。
The people in the room Erika had just left had been specified. It was the role of the human side to check every one of these seemingly obvious little details. Okay.
ぐっと続けます。いとこ部屋に所在するのはそれ以外の全員である。
How oddly specific. The word everyone drew a slight reaction from Battler. And the music too. That it stopped right there. It certainly raised your eyebrow. Like when she says everyone else, it is assumed she refers to everyone else left unmentioned prior to this that exist on the island at this point, really. I mean, Kinzo is dead, and his body is not inside that room, so I don't know. Like, if we are to exclude him and culprit X, everyone would be equal to, like, those 6 that we know of in that room. I mean, if Erika stated those 6 names instead, if she mentioned those 6 names, Beller wouldn't have batted an eye, probably. But it's just the word everyone is... like, it is something to question. The intuition he had built up from all his previous games told him not to answer this one instantly.
拒否する。それを認めるっていうと、金蔵の遺体もいとこ部屋の中にあるって論法になっちまうからな。
Yeah, true. I mean, he died, like, since the beginning, but let's not forget about him, too.
ああ、失礼。金蔵はすでに存在しないことが確定していますから、全員という言葉からは抜いて考えてください。
He really seemed non-existent in this game. Not a peep about him.
なぜいとこ部屋だけ全員という言い方をする？クラウス以下6人の名前を個別に挙げて所在確認をすればいいのに、なぜそんなアバウトな言い方で
？6人の名前をいちいち読み上げるのが面倒くさいからです。それとも何か？全員という言葉だと何か問題のあるトリックでもあるんですか
Ibeller had been told to repeat Kraus, Rudolph, Jessica, Genji, Gora, and Kanon are in the cousins room. You probably have responded with a red without thinking too much about it. Yeah. Normally, Erika would have mentioned the name of each person inside and had him repeat it precisely. Beller hesitated to repeat, feeling some kind of unease because of the use of the word everyone.
私と金蔵を除き17人いる島で6人が殺されて屋敷に横たわり、隣部屋に5人がいるとなれば、残る6人はいとこ部屋にいる。これが正常な考えでしょう。しかし17人いる島だから6を引いて5を引いてさらに6を引けばちょうど0になって、所在不明の人間は0になるという思い込みは大変危険です。バトラさんもこの辺の名前と人数のトリックで第3のゲームの南條殺しで散々苦しめられたはずです。
そうだな。あの時のトリックは18人分の名前と実際に存在する18人が食い違うことで、未知の人物が混入する余地を許していた。
そういうことです。ですから名前だけでの所在確認は安心できないわけです。そこで私は全員という言葉を採用することにしました。この言葉はまだ私が想像もしていないバトラさんの新しいトリックを未然に防ぐことさえできるのです。
なるほどな。うまいやり方だぜ。
Ibeller was planning a new trick like the one used for the murder of Nanjo in the third game, where the names and number of people would be used to create false alibis. And then even naming off all 17 people and checking their positions left a trace of uncertainty behind. And if he skillfully managed to slip somebody past the names and numbers of people,
例えばですが、この島に未知の暗殺者 X が紛れ込んでいるとします。仮にその X の名を プルプルピコマルと名付けましょう。
なるほどな。全員の名を挙げて所在確認をしても、プルプルピコマルとやらはその網にかからないってわけだ。
そういうことです。この島には17人しかいない。そして17人の所在はここであるとされても、それだけでは不十分なわけです。
I'm just thinking that is not the same thing that Lambda said before. What was it like? Puru Puru Pico Pio? And this is Puru Puru Pico, I think. Hold on. Puru Puru Pico. Okay. This is completely different. Don't think I didn't notice that.
前科もあるわけですからね。
しかし全員というのはあまりに範囲の広すぎる言い方です。他の言い方でうまく言い直せないでしょうか。
いや、ここで全員という言葉から逃げると、エリカはそれを根拠に全ての犯人をプルプルピコマルテやらの仕業で逃れきっちまう可能性がある。かつての俺もお前との戦いで未知の18人目 X だけを根拠に複数の謎にくさびを打ったことがある。
全員という言葉の重み、よーく考えてお返事くださいね。
Actually, maybe that there's not much of a choice anyway. I feel like it has to be said that everyone else is in the cousin's room. Those that were mentioned, they are considered bodies, right? Dead or alive. If Shannon equals Canon, and if Shannon is equated to the other room, then Canon, he cannot be equated to the cousin's room. It may be the other way around. It's not that Balor can say all 6 names, but he cannot say everyone. He definitely cannot say all 6 names, but can only say everyone. So that's what I mean when I say that there's not much of a choice. Like, if I'm right about my thing with Shannon equals Canon, then you cannot say that this person is in this room and this person is in the other room. Like, magically speaking, yeah, you can definitely say that, I think, but you cannot say that 2 persons with 2 bodies that were originally one can be that you cannot say that a person can be in 2 rooms at the same time. Like, that's what I'm thinking about right over here. I feel like the reason why Balor is skeptical about this is because Erika knows he cannot say all 6 names. So Erika is doing it the easy way by saying everyone, which would signal Balor that Erika is truly onto something here, which can definitely be a uh-oh situation right over here. Erika wore a full but evil smile, confident that she had made a powerful move. Players on the witch side must eradicate all possibilities that would be possible for humans. If I don't crush any chances for this ridiculously named Puru Puru Pico man right now, he'll be used to explain everything the witch does. It kind of makes me think of... I won't lie, it makes me think of One Piece. Like, in One Piece you have these snails that can be used as telephones to talk to people. And the sound that they make when somebody's calling you, it's buru 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 buru. That was a move I like to use in my old games with that. Back at the very beginning of the fight, My counterattacks were all based on an unknown 19th person X. Because of that, it had been necessary for a battle to restrict the number of people on the island, and eliminate any unknown person hiding somewhere. In that case, this time is the same. So, just like Battle did, I need to get rid of any leeway in which that X can exist. The number of people on the island has already been declared, but since she is suspecting tricks involving the names and number of people, saying the same thing again won't satisfy her. In that case, I have no choice but to respond to her repetition request and use the word everyone. That word has a disturbing ring to it. And though I haven't figured it out yet, it feels like there's some kind of demonic killer move hidden within it. Damn. After insulting Battle so much and saying that the witch side had a huge advantage, I'm feeling this much pressure from just a single repetition request.
Distraction ですね。
Destruction?
チェス用語のか。
はい。敵の駒に圧力をかけ、移動を強いて、敵陣形を自らに崩させる手法のことです。
全員というあまりに広域で強力な駒に私は移動を強いているわけです。バトラさんにとってはこれによって生存者全員のアリバイが完全に保証され、以後の不可能犯罪を私に言い逃れさせないことが可能となるでしょう。何を恐れます？あなたにとって強力な一手じゃありませんか。
しかしそれはお前が敷いた上での手だ。お前はそれによって俺の何かの陣形を崩そうとしている。
どんな妙手も相手に望まれたならそれは握手に同じです。しかしここで全員という言葉を避けることも難しい。
That truth can cut the weak reasoning of the human side apart over and over. In the past, I feared its ruthlessness. However, I quickly learned that it could be used as a basis for a counterattack.
赤き真実は殿下の宝刀か。ベアとの気持ち、今は痛いくらいにわかる。
You can kill with ease. That's not something to be used with abandon. Using it carelessly can corner the witch side instead.
どうします？
Same if we are to flip the chessboard. Like, it can kill the human side too, if we were to use it against her.
保留でも結構ですよ。
いや、わかった。認める。それ以外の全員がいとこ部屋にいることを認める。
Alright, let's see where this will lead us.
ぐっとありがとうございます、バトラさん。実に美しくバッサリです。はあ、困りました。この状況で魔女からの手紙が現れたりなんかしたら、一体誰を疑えばいいのやら。
She said she was in trouble, but her face didn't look troubled at all. On the contrary, she looked as though she had just succeeded in making a very important foundational move. In the Witches game, even a single mistaken move is fatal. In both chess and shogi, you cannot take back a move once you've made it. And that last exchange had left a bad aftertaste, as though flesh had been torn and bones broken.
所在確認はこれで十分のはずだ。ゲームを進めてもらおうか。
します。ドラノール。
はい、エリカ卿。
それでは早速始めましょう。慈悲深いゲームマスター様がくださった権利を。
What was that? Did Delanor do like a superhero landing here all of a sudden?
はい、心得ております。ガートルード、コーネリア、3部屋許された権利のうちの2部屋分を行使します。
金系
慎了解するものなりや。
いとこ部屋と隣部屋を封印。これで犠牲者以外の全員を封じました。これ以降何が起こっても封印の中の人間たちは問題となりません。
扉、窓の封印によりいとこ部屋、隣部屋の両部屋の密封は保証されました。
For just an instant, that red longsword had returned to Delanor's hand. She had been given permission to draw it, thanks to the red truth that she had finally gained. When if I concern these two sealed rooms from now on, Delanor would be able to use that merciless blade, the red key. Cannot wait! This overwhelming power could slice even a game master in half. For a while, Erika and Delanor grinned at each other, entranced by the ruthless red light that was burned into their eyes.
上席補佐官、謹んでお尋ね立てまつる。
何か。
人間側プレイヤーは魔女の出題を人間の仕業で読み解くのが戦い方と知るものなりや。
あなたに相違なし。
なればなぜにエリカ卿と上司ドラノールは犯行の余地ある人間を自ら減らすように戦うなりや。
Cornelia's question was very simple. Those two had made this move boldly and treated it like a powerful one. So it almost made it seem as though this move would greatly damage the witch. However, if you thought about it, Erika was just strangling her own neck.
これよりどのような事件が起こるかもまだわからぬと知りたまう。むしろ所在を確定させない人間が多い方が人間に有利ではないかと推測するものなりや。
今はまだ。今日も上司主席もそれを明かす段階にないと知りたてまつる。
死後陳謝するものなり。
Cornelia looked like she wasn't satisfied. In her previous game, in order to help Kenzo escape from his study, Batter had made desperate efforts to crush his locked room, using a variety of methods. As a result, Kenzo had escaped into the darkness of the night. And he has later become the Batman! In other words, locked rooms were advantageous to witches and disadvantageous to humans. Witches proposed locked rooms, and humans destroyed and denied. Those were meant to be the standard tactics of this game. And yet, Erika had created locked rooms herself, and sealed a full 11 people in them. In other words, this was the same as abandoning the right to use those 11 people when explaining all the later tricks. Batter had also once sought to confirm the locations of certain people, but that had been to check whether certain pieces existed, which he could break lock rooms. A completely different situation. Why had Erika taken these 11 people, who are supposed to be her pieces, and sealed them in a locked room? Cornelia didn't have enough experience out on the field to understand this move, which only looked as though they were trapping themselves.
不気味な一手ですね。一体エリカは何を企んでいるのでしょう。
攻撃とは限らねえさ。チェスも将棋もそうだろ。キングの守りを固めておくのだって立派な戦略だ。
つまりこの2部屋の封印は攻めでなく守りだと。
そう考えるのが妥当だろうぜ。おかげで生存者たちにちょっかいが出しづらくなった。
Or it is a preparation for a future attack. Erika wants you to see that she's preparing something, making you uneasy about future moves, like after this. It's like cornering a piece of yours into a situation where no matter what move you make for that piece, you'll be taken by one of Erika's pieces. Like, you move this way, you will be attacked by the tower. You move this way, you get attacked by a knight. Something similar to that. I guess if I am to think on what Cornelia asked before, it wouldn't be necessarily that Erika is trapping herself by sealing those 11 people, but rather maybe she's looking for something well, actually, I guess we shall see. I am still thinking about this.
第2の番が実行しにくくなったってわけだ。
ああ、なるほど。魔女側は謎を多く提示した方が有利。
そうだ。何しろ一つでも謎が通れば魔女の勝ちなんだからな。多くの密室を提示した方が有利に戦える。
The mysteries that which side sets up are equivalent to attacks. The human side must perfectly intercept all of those. It's almost like a penalty kick face-off, where conceding a single goal means defeat. So, the witch side wants to increase its number of attacks. The human side wants to lower the number of attacks. When Leatherhead fought on the human side, he had thought of the survivors holding up in a room as being particularly useful. However, from the witch's side perspective, this strategy was simple but effective. What made the battle incredible was the way she had bluffed and sneered at that as though he was useless. Like the letter that was discovered while inside the study room, like all the way in the, like, all locked up in the first game. On the inside, she must have been very worried about how to break down all those barricades in each game. Right now, I am sure of that.
なるほど。事件が発生できないように守りを固めるのも人間側の戦い方なんですね。
しかしそれは平凡な一手だ。あの名探偵フルド・エリカがあれだけ自信満々に強打するほどの一手じゃない。
Would Erika be happy after playing a defensive move? Though this move looks as though she's restraining herself, it's also extremely unlikely that Erika, of all people, played a defensive move.
これはきっと守りじゃなく攻めなんだ。どういう攻撃か理解はできねえがな。
次は私たちの手番ですが、どうしますか？
とりあえず表向きは奴は第一の番の推理ではなく 第2の番を防ぐための守りに手番を費やした。押さば引け、引かば押せだ。ならこっちは攻めていくしかない。
しかしどう攻めればいいやら。ゲストハウスはかなりの守りになっています。
そうだな。ゲストハウスの全域が今やエリカの支配下に見える。
Which, only now it occurred to me. Before I commented how we would have like a nice change of scenery from the guest house murders, like in Game 5. But apparently we're still focusing on the guest house in this game as well. Oh boy.
しかしビショップやナイトのように敵陣に食い込むのを得意とする駒だっていろいろある。
Balor snapped his fingers, and a single gold butterfly appeared from the darkness, and then flew up to the chessboard, trailing gold dust behind it. It landed without a sound, then transformed into a black piece representing the witch's darkness.
X-ray。これもチェス用語だったな。
X-ray?
はい。一見敵の支配下に見えるマスが、実際は自分の駒が十分に影響力を効かせていることを見透かして攻撃する高等技法です。
エリカ、生存者を全て密閉し、次なる俺の攻撃を防げると本気で信じているなら、それは甘い考えだ。
Balor raised his new black piece high. His target was a single open space deep behind enemy lines.
どう受ける？これが俺の応酬だ。
Yes. And now, for a cackle that would end the scene.
これでようやく羽が伸ばせます。まずは屋敷に深夜の散歩と参りましょうか。
殺人犯が潜んでいるかもしれない不気味な屋敷にこのような深夜に散歩とは酔狂な御仁です。
とんでもない。ようやく得た自由時間じゃないですか。今の私はプール授業の後の自由時間みたいにワクワクしています。
I guess you didn't have enough swimming time when you landed on the island, eh? I guess you don't mind swimming with the fishies yourself if I throw you in the ocean, eh? No thank you. I don't feel like swimming with a full stomach after the noodle soup. Oh wait, I have no stomach. Yo! Now that Mercastel was nowhere in sight, Erika was regaining her high spirits. She wasn't exaggerating when she said she could spread her wings. And by wings, it means her hair. She can use her hair as her wings. Or as helicopter blades. Delornor knew that she was staking her own destruction on this game. And she was not in a favorable position by any means. Delornor could do nothing but assist Erika so that she could fight to the best of her abilities.